Jago mula kau dapat kami ulabi. Buruk kaya kapag di tulog ma. Syukulog mula Suku juga kumu pakaki. Jago mula kau dapat kami ulabi. Buruk kaya kapag
Walking down the street.
But more Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah, go out to be like, hello, welcome to TigerBelly.
Yeah, like that, just like that.
All right. You ready?
Welcome to Bizarro TigerBelly. Are we counting it down?
Here we go.
17, 16,
15, 5, 4, 3, 2.
You're not using headphones?
No, I don't do that.
Oh, all right. Hi. Hello, welcome to the new TigerBelly. I'm taking this bitch over. That's what's happening right now.
Oh shit.
So I have to do it I have to do all the Bobby stuff. So we got pan face gook over here.
What up? My face so flat.
Your face so flat. How flat is it?
It's a pan.
It's flat as a pan. And then we got this white cracker. That's me. Casper motherfucker over here.
So much energy, bud.
You know what I mean? I know that was too aggressive.
That was
right?
scary. A little scary.
Yeah, that's why it's better coming from an
Asian guy?
because it's not as aggressive. It don't sound so like honky. You know what I mean? It don't sound like that. So all right, I retract that. And then what am I supposed to?
He's always really nice to me.
My beautiful something.
I mean, no. In the beginning, he says my beautiful something, and then he progressively gets meaner and meaner. Then he calls me bitch, then he calls me all of that. But you got to wait till halfway through.
Okay, so I have to call you a bitch. Okay, Gilbert, I need you to remind me when to call her a bitch.
Bitch cute?
Like Georgia over there, call her a bitch. Call her a bitch. You know? Now, this is like, I feel like this would be like if like whenever you met, because when did you meet Bobby?
2012.
So like in 2012, you're on Tinder and like you see Bobby, but my thing came up first and you swiped right on me.
Okay, now would you
Here
have
we are,
driven
cut
to Long Beach to go meet me at a coffee shop?
Take a look at her face.
Let me see.
Open your leg.
I know, can I see the booty?
Keep in mind that I was 27. Wait, I was 28, 27.
Okay.
You were 27 back then? Mm-hmm. Wow.
28, maybe.
Damn, Filipino don't crack, huh?
It does not.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. Okay, so he drove all the way to Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have drove to Long Beach. That's, okay, all right, check. I would have drove to Long Beach.
Okay, would you have had just woken up at 2 p.m.?
No, I would have had shit going on.
Would you have shown up with a car full of trash, like hoarders trash?
Okay, so are these the things you're looking for in the plus column?
Yeah.
Is that wow?
I found all of those.
Did she have her list? She was like, okay, check, disheveled, nice. Needs a haircut, yes. Car is full of bullshit, perfect.
Empty Red Bull cans. Would you have had that?
What was the appeal? Can we finally, because he's not here, what literally was the appeal? Because I don't get it when you're saying all this.
I think
I'm waiting for you to tell me a story about how he was like, oh, he was so sweet and he brought me this.
But all men show up perfect on the first date. I think I found appealing that he was just so like reckless and dirty and so utterly himself that I thought, okay, this is
the worst. So it's going to go up from here.
But it didn't go up from there. See, that's what I thought. I was like, oh, this is the extent of the trash or the Red Bull cans in the car. And then it never went. It just got progressively, it deteriorated from there.
Really?
Well, yeah, you see how we live.
I know, but how did he surprise you? You know, like so you thought, okay, this is it. It can't get any worse than this. And you were like, oh my God. So basically you're staying in this relationship to see how bad it can get.
Yeah. I want to see, I'm a masochist. I want to see how someone can beat me down with hoarder's trash.
Good God.
I don't know if I would have came to Long Beach knowing all this shit. I think now I want to put trash in my car, go on a date, and when somebody's like, "Oh, I kind of like this," I'm like, "Bye, bitch." You know what I mean?
Okay, let's say you go on a first date with a woman. Like, are you impressed by the presentation of her seemingly being perfect and like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you impressed by?
Yes. I enjoy the girliness of like whatever your little girly things you're gonna be. Because like honestly, we don't really care.
Yeah.
Like I it's like you go on a date and let's say like she's running late because she's like, well, I'm fixing my face. It's like you're fine. But then they come out and they got the big lashes. You know what I mean?
It's Khalyla right there.
I don't have lashes.
Oh, when you put them on.
Do you have the big lashes? Not
Asian.
now, but
I'm Asian.
You know the ones where they did like and so when they come out, they're like, you go, okay, this is their effort. They think they're at their best. Like this is so you go, okay, you think you're at your best. This is what you're presenting, and you go, okay, I like that. I might not like what's going on, but I like that you think that this is your best.
Wait, hold on. You don't like that they're putting in the effort. You like that they think it's their best.
Yeah.
That's so fucking twisted.
Yeah.
Why are you even thinking that deep into their preparation?
Because as a comic, you're always like going into like, this could possibly be a joke. And then it's like, oh, but it's real life. So you really analyze. I don't know. I just like, so you go out with somebody and they putting on this thing. Cause I guess for guys, you're always waiting for the rug to be pulled from under you. Cause she's not always going to be like this. She's not always going to be nice and accommodating.
But that's why I think the better strategy for any woman on a first date is to go midway, to not put on their full face, to go half face, maybe just some mascara. Half face, not full face, not full painting.
Yeah, because you're saying to me right now, it's like, I'm not going out without some makeup on.
Some, but we want to look like the same way guys do, which is we don't want to appear like we've tried too hard. So we want to look sort of casual and sort of like, we kind of came, we had two other places to be before we got here.
Like athleisure wear or like sweats?
Maybe not athleisure, that's a little bit. But the reason is because we still want to be able to impress them on the night that it matters, whether it's in front of their friends or like the first time I ever went to the Comedy Store. I had my full face on.
Oh yeah.
I had these.
Oh
on.
really?
She was flying. She was flying.
Yeah.
She had to play, there was like music. She had she had a whole thing. Cue the music. Ow. Ow.
She has dancers with her?
Yeah. Why the fuck is there smoke coming out? You know what we should say before we even continue even further? I gotta say to all the TigerBelly people out there, leave her alone. You know what I mean?
Aww.
Like I've been over the whole fact that you stole my podcast.
Yoko.
No. Because like sometimes I look at the comments and I'm like, damn, these people are there. There's people that's their life.
Yeah, but
their life is to be like, you, that gold digger stole. And it's like, no, it worked out the way it was supposed to work out. Everybody's happy in the process. I'm doing my own podcast. Bobby comes on my podcast. He's literally one of my dearest friends. I consider him a brother. So, I just want to like put it out there like, guys, let it go. All right? Let it go.
They're not going to listen to you.
I know they're not. But that's why we're going to start our own podcast. That's why I thought my way to get back at this motherfucker is, welcome to Scorpion Finger. I know. Wait, and then you freeze it, you know what I mean? And then it goes black and white. Scorpion Finger. You know what I mean? So that's how we'll do that. But I don't know. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like Bobby is who he is.
Yeah, I also regarding what you were saying, I think it comes with the territory, and I think that I'd be absolutely dumb to think that, I wouldn't be getting some type of like backlash.
Some backlash?
Yeah, it's normal.
Well, it's like it's tough though when people like it's like they're not acknowledging like your part in this. Like people don't know your effect on Bobby
because they don't see the ins and outs of our days.
I'm saying you take you away. And this motherfucker would be like the Tasmanian devil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're working on him right now for his special. Okay, we're trying to get. And I'm supposed to be like one of the associate producers. I'm helping, right?
Oh, that's so cool.
But let me tell you what my job really is, okay? This is my job. And I want you TigerBelly artists out there to go, because I know they're going to draw the shit. Because, it's like, and I'm so tired of Fat Lando.
Should we stop that now?
Okay, like this is like, hey, Fatlando, you know. But people say it so casually, like they're saying like, hey, Eric, you know.
Do they say it when they go to your shows?
No,
not
nobody's
to your
gonna do
face.
that. Nobody's gonna say it to my face. I'm 6'3", and you know you will get some. No, but it's just all the time they're so casual about it. But see, this is what I am. Okay, you know, like when there's like, let's say there's a TV show and they have animals on the TV show. Let's say there's a falcon on the TV show, and there's a guy on set that's got like a leather glove on, and he's the falcon guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's like, whoo, 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 whatever he does, and the falcon flies in on his arm, and then he like sends it into the scene. That's me with Bobby.
Oh, you're the Wrangler.
I'm the Wrangler.
You're Bobby Lee's
I'm
Wrangler.
the Bobby Wrangler. So they call me like, yo, dude, we can't get a hold of Bobby. I'm like, okay. You know, like,
Time to text Khalyla.
yeah, right.
So
That's what I do.
people.
That's what I gotta do. It's like they come to me. I gotta go to her, or I hit him up. All I had to do is guilt this motherfucker. Like the last time we had this meeting, right?
Yep, I was there, and you were on your way, and he was trying to flake.
He was trying
Wait,
to flake.
what happened?
Okay, first of all, it's all the way in Burbank, okay? At a bullshit hour. I live in Culver City.
Yeah.
It's not easy to get there. I'm there, and he's like, hey, can we just do it by phone? I was like, are you fucking out of your mind? You get your little punk ass over here to this damn place, you know? And he was over at the new place, too, which is sort of close.
He wasn't over at the new place. We were still here, but I basically
See, the lies
Yeah,
just
yeah,
come
yeah.
out. So I said, so he came over, and that's all that it is. You know, that's what I have to do. I got to just be there to be like, okay, you know, let me take care of
your
Bobby.
presence guilts him. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably part of the reason why you're so crucial in all of this. Is
Yeah, so that's why I have to have a whistle and my leather glove. You know, shoo, 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 shoo. And then Bobby comes in, hoo-ah! Hoo-ah! You know, with his Red Bull, hoo-ah!
the most
This bullshit haircut. You know what I
the
mean?
most frequent text messages I get is he coming?
Yeah.
Is he on his way? Is he showing up?
You know,
That's what I get.
and then people text him, is she coming? Has she in a while? How is Bobby as a lover? I'm just curious. Is it tolerable?
Yeah, I think he's gotten another thing
Oh,
that
you've
has
trained him. See,
deteriorated.
you have a leather glove too, so you're in bedroom like, whoo, no.
It would be like him being the balance beam and me being Simone Biles. I'm doing all the work.
Oh, wow.
He just sits
You're a
there
gold
as
medalist.
like
Okay.
a
But first of all, that if you work with Bobby, that is the relationship for everyone.
yeah.
And that's why he has a hard time when he goes on sets where he has to learn lines and do all these things. He called me from Hawaii like hysterical.
Yeah, hysterical. Yeah.
Okay, hysterical. He had this, so I have to talk him down off ledges. You know what I mean? So anytime this motherfucker, first of all, he never returns my calls. He's terrible at texting, as we already know. Crystalia already said something about it. This dude's terrible, but he calls me and he expects me to answer. I've answered Bobby's call while I've been on stage on the road.
Oh, wow.
Because I see it, and I'm like, this must be important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's never really important. It's just him needing to like hear himself, bitch.
Yeah. That's really it. You're a sounding board. I'm a sounding board.
Yes. But
And
you
then
have to
he-
fuck him. Ooh.
Back to him being a lover.
Yeah, let's get back to. Oh, this
So
is great.
if
I love how you're like, finally, I get to just shine.
Let me tell you
It's
how
like,
it is.
On Scorpion Fingered. Oh, maybe it should be Scorpion Lashes.
They just stab
That's the name of
camera.
our podcast, Scorpion Lashes, and it's like,
Khalyla.
yeah.
I think that in the beginning, that is the one thing he did bamboozle me with. In the beginning, he seemed to be willing to work more,
Oh,
and then now
well, he was
he's
doing all that freaky Asian stuff.
he doesn't do any of the freaky Asian stuff.
When is the last? So he doesn't even eat your pussy anymore. Nothing.
No, he's a church boy now,
What?
and he always says, "Oh, yeah,
He's
I'm
always on his
47."
knees.
He's kneeling on the pews all day. He's a church boy now.
What does that even mean?
Like he's not gonna put in any of the fun stuff that he did. He's not gonna do like the air guitar in the corner anymore and his cheetah panties type shit.
Do you miss that?
I
You
do.
say it like you miss it.
Yeah, I do. I miss that. I think that when you're with someone for so long, you become almost like a 2D person. You forget all the little intricacies about each other. You just become this really, really well-oiled machine together. That you take a lot of like the things that made you fall in love with someone, like you forget about because you are so efficient with each other. You have a system.
Right. So you're saying you would like a little more romance in your relationship?
Yeah, of course. And we've talked about this on here. We've talked, I talk about it with him all the time. It's like we have to reconnect on a different level.
I will say though that it's hard to. This is the thing about Bobby. I don't know his motivations, so it's hard to like pretend like you understand his motivations. Like for instance, that night, him and I planned we're gonna go to the movies. He's bringing me up on stage at the Comedy Store, and as we're exchanging the mic, I'm saying like, so we going to the movie? He's like, and this is a way of being like, oh, I forgot, I want to flake.
Yeah.
And so then when we go outside, he's like, oh wait, we're gonna go to the movie. We're texting you. He's texting you off the hook. Like he's like I can't go unless I. So he is thoughtful of your feelings.
That he is, but that's because
you've bitched at him for so long.
No, I worry about him a lot because I find him to be a reckless human. So I have a lot of like worry for him. If I don't know I don't care that he goes out anywhere. You know this about me. I don't give a shit. I just care that he's always accounted for.
Yeah, I know what you
that's
mean.
it. So if he says I'm going to the movies, fine. He knows he doesn't even need to ask. But if he could have just texted me, I'm going to the movies, I would have been like, fine. But I don't know why he felt he needed to call me and get approval.
This is what I'm saying about his motivations. I don't think he really wanted
to go.
And he was using, because you know why? Because he did this with me. Like, so Santino calls me. And he's like, he's all like, hey man, we didn't talk about this on this. Oh yeah. So he calls me. He's like, hey, he's bullshitting. Because he's like, it's bullshit small talk. I haven't talked to him in a while. And then after a while, he gets to the thing. Hey, would you be upset? Would you be salty if Bobby and I, if we did a podcast together? And my answer was, yeah. I would. Oh yeah. I'm gonna be real salty. Salty as a motherfucker. It's gonna be I'm just gonna be like, every time I see him, I'm gonna have salt ready.
Salt bay right there.
I'm salty. You know what I mean?
Like friendship ending salty?
Or I could say, I don't know.
Or bits. Lots of annoying bits.
Yeah, it'd just be like, it would get to the point where you wouldn't want to be around me because I would be like, oh, hey, it's the podcast guy.
The podcast guy.
Oh, hey, guys, how's the podcast guy? I would talk like that the whole time. Oh, my God, hey, guys, how's the podcast? Oh, I watched it. It was so good. Just all the time to the point where they're like, okay, are you really upset? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But see, I didn't want to bullshit and be like, oh, dude, I'm cool with it.
Because you're not, yeah.
Because I'm not cool with it. You know what I mean? I'm not cool with it because, even him and I could have started one. Bobby's bullshit because he told me he was going to start one with me, and I didn't find out till later that he also told Santino he was going to start one with him until sneaked in and stole it from both of us.
She won.
So now he's saying to me,
I don't see you fucking him.
That's on you, Eric.
Yeah.
You fucking Bobby.
He would like it, though. Let's be real. So then now Bobby's making all these promises to everyone. He's told Steve he's starting a podcast with Steve.
With his brother Steve?
Yes.
That's a knife fight waiting to happen.
I know, but that's great. That's great.
I mean, and not.
I would have to be there.
Okay, I was gonna say you need a mediator
because the ones
we've had some here, where we've had to just end it.
Not air.
Because I thought it would just I would have to take someone or call 911.
They have a weird relationship, Yeah,
it's very contentious.
They have a very weird relationship, So it probably lends itself, however their upbringing is and all the things which they've aired all their dirty business out on these podcasts, so everybody really already knows. But when they're with me, it seems to be great. Like we did 2 of them. Okay, they're still my biggest episodes.
Great content.
You know what I mean? It's good content. We're all good together, so it needs to be something like that. But I just think that he's just overwhelmed with this.
With TigerBelly?
Yeah, I think this is a lot for him.
This is so low maintenance for him. He does nothing but show up.
Yeah, but that's a lot for him.
Yeah, that's
just getting him to show up consistently.
Yeah.
Like how many times have you ever had to be like, well, we can't do the podcast today because Bobby's gone?
Well, then how would you feel if you started one with him and he just doesn't show up? Because
that's already happening because we were supposed to do the thing monthly.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we were supposed to do it monthly.
There's a reason why this worked out. It's because it's the next room over from where he sleeps.
I guess.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because he already was talking shit about, like, and I heard a little, like, somebody posted, like, you get your guys' little Patreon. That's where you guys really, that's the devil shit right there. The TigerBelly Patreon is where you get the real, like,
That's for the seance.
yeah. That's where, like, they got the fucking Ouija board out here. What do you think about Erik Griffin? And the truth comes out. So somebody sent me a little clip of him talking shit about my place.
About your place?
Yeah, when he came over.
yeah.
I was like, this motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
Let's run back what he said about your place. I want to know. I forgot what he said. Did
He
he,
was
say
just
it was
Feel
like
he walked in, the walls.
Yeah,
had
He
like
said you had fake walls of
no,
brick.
he said like it smelled like cum or something like that.
Yeah, come wall.
he is the biggest exaggerating piece of shit. That's what that is right there. But like I say, it could still be good. And people ask me literally every fucking day, when is Bobby and Steve coming on to talk about movies again? So it's like all these promises have been made.
That's a big risk anyone is taking to start a podcast with him. Not because he's not good, but just because will he show up?
Yeah, it's a lot. So, but anyways, to circle back to the point of this is, so Bobby told Andrew that he needed to call me to get approval, but I know Bobby just did that because he doesn't want to do it.
I don't think he wants to do either.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But I already know, because if he was going to do it with me, we would have done it already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We would have done it. So, so I think that he's just like, because that's what he does. He'll come up with excuses. He won't say no. He'll be like, well, I don't want to film it at my place. I don't want to film it at your place. I don't want to film it in the, I want to do
That's
it.
actually, you're not wrong about that, because he throws me under the bus to save himself a lot.
Yeah.
And what was it the other time? It was
That's what
earlier
he did
this
with the
week.
movies. That's what he did with the movies.
Yeah, he was talking to Mike from ATC, and he was saying, he said he had to say no to something, but he said he used my name, and he was like, it's because Khalyla said so and so. It just so happened that I overheard him whispering the text to himself, and I heard my name. I'm like, what are you texting, and who are you texting, and why is my name in that text?
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I'm just texting Mike. I'm like, wait a second, let me see that text. And it said, oh yeah, because something along the lines of, this is a democracy, and Khalyla says that she doesn't. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't even know what they were talking about, but he used me.
Under the bus.
Yeah.
Backwards.
On that note, we're going to take a break for our sponsors.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt, but we have an amazing sponsor.
Yeah, guys. If you need stuff in the middle of the night, right?
Yeah.
Like
What?
some red wine.
Oh.
At like 4 p.m.
Okay. That's
You ever
fair.
needed like sushi at 9 p.m.?
Exactly at that
What
time.
if I need pain pills at 10 p.m.?
10 a.m. you might need some pain pills because
Okay.
you just woke up next to Bobby.
I've got
You know what you would need? Postmates.
Ah.
Right? Postmates, you can get everything you need. I've tried it. Sometimes you need some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you have like a craving, like a pregnant woman or something like that, that's how I used to feel before I started like really getting into shit.
Okay, I see you.
You know what I mean? If I needed like cupcakes or even juice, you can even get that. Like, you want those like weird juices, you call Postmates.
One
and it
time I
comes
was
right
really
there.
sick, and I had someone go to Target and get me a humidifier because I was too sick to travel anywhere. And Bobby wasn't going to go get it for me.
Yeah, of course not.
Postmate.
Postmates.
Unless he was getting paid.
And for a limited time, Postmates is giving our listeners $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days. To start your free deliveries, download the app and use the code BELLY. That's the code BELLY for $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days when you download the Postmates app. Anything you need, anytime you need it, Postmate it. Download Postmates and save with the code BELLY.
I like old movies. You guys like old movies?
Mm-hmm.
So they have a lot of great streaming services out there, but not as good as this one, Vudu. And with the folks that are currently watching TigerBelly, you get these classic movies this month streaming for free. And these are some good ones. The Karate Kid.
Love it.
Classic. Matrix. The good one, number 1.
That's the only one.
The only one. The rest of them are, The Departed.
Used to be-
Demolition Man.
Okay.
That's a good one.
What?
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a gum. I'm going to go home and look at that right now.
I wonder if they have Casper.
No, they have Hook, though.
No, but they have Hog.
Hook.
Hook's on there. The Never-Ending Story, Misery. So that's
Misery.
yeah. Oh, that's that. You are
That's,
Misery.
yes.
That's what you should do to Bobby.
Yes.
You should club his foot. But yeah, so after you club your boyfriend's foot because you don't want him to go out anymore, you turn on Vudu streaming so you can watch some movies. Tell us about it, Gilbert.
I will. Vudu is a streaming service you can watch all your favorite devices, including smart TV, Roku, Chromecast, iPhone, Apple TV, and Android phone or web. Stream over 10,000 titles for free, or choose from over 150,000 titles to rent or buy in up to 4K quality, from the latest Hollywood blockbusters to independent cinema. Not a subscription service, no monthly fees. Watch free movies and TV and pay only for what you want to rent or purchase. Head over to vudu.com/TigerBelly to sign up and start watching instantly. That's VUDU.com/TigerBelly. Enjoy the rest of the show.
And they do have Casper.
You guys don't know, what if I'm like secretly at gunpoint? There's like two Korean soldiers in the you eat now. Oh, yes, right. I have to.
Oh God, here we go. You got to call me bitch now.
You bitch.
Can we get one more where the sound was off on that one? Level change?
Look, this is about him now. This is about him, like, always wanting. You don't notice, but you don't see behind you, but he's like, yeah.
Holding up his side.
Well, and Bobby just called me and said, this is fucking depressing.
What's depressing? Should we call him like he does to
we
me?
We should call him.
Right
I
now?
need you to call me a bitch one more time, though. That made me feel kind of like
Gives her
Bobby
strength.
was here.
Oh, my God.
I felt familiar.
Can you give me a bag of trash I can pour on her right now? and let me just lay here like this. Does that turn you on?
It's
Oh, my God.
it's sugar. What you're feeding me right now is all of it. Hold on one second. Let's see if we.
That's why the big, tall, sexy dudes that still probably holler at you.
No one
you're just
hollers at
like,
me
oh, you're doing too much. Nobody's hollering at you. I don't believe you.
Where are you? Did you do it already?
I'm here with Erik right now.
Yeah, we're doing it right now, piece of shit.
You're on air?
Yeah.
You hear my voice right now?
Yeah.
What is Fat Black doing? Is he doing good?
Yeah. I'm sitting in the king chair, baby. I'm taking over.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, it's called. It's the new podcast name. It's called Scorpion Lashes.
Yeah? After Eric's done with the podcast, can you wash the mics because we don't want to get sickle cell anemia?
Here we go. Here we go.
So just
Wow.
Boil to kill sickle cell. You have to boil
Okay.
the middle parts of the. I'll Google. I'll give you the
Autoclave. You want me to put it in an autoclave?
Don't encourage him.
do that.
Jesus
And,
Christ.
Also, when he's here, you got to get cakes and all that stuff ready.
Cakes?
Cakes
you said?
for Erik?
Yeah, he loves cakes and ice cream and stuff like that.
I brought cookies.
Oh, good.
Although you guys talk like you say it like you guys talked about it beforehand. Like, should I bring
Anyway,
something for his diabetes?
I'll talk to you later,
Wait, hang
okay?
on. What are you? Everything okay?
He's just laying. You know what it is? He's just laying in bed, and he's very cognitive. But he answers all the questions. He knows who we are. He laughs. We'll go smile. He'll smile. So he's cognitively there. But if that tells me that he's not going to be dead anytime soon.
You know what? That sounds the same way Bobby has sex with you.
You hear that, babe?
But,
He says that's how you have.
You're this? Yeah, Bobby, I'm hearing that this is how you have sex. So I see it's like father, like son. I think that's.
Just FYI, my dad's on his deathbed. Can you just relax a little bit?
Well, you know what? I actually don't believe you. You know what I mean? Because this is like when your uncle died.
Oh,
right?
Oh, yeah.
Trely.
He's out with his mistress right now. Is what it is. You know.
Okay, my uncle did that. But all right. Well, I'll talk to you guys later. Okay. Thank you for doing the podcast, Eric.
Yeah. All right.
Love you, Bobby.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye, bitch. Bye.
That's good news.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's tough.
when someone's in hospice, it's like they can still be lucid and like slip into something.
No, but what sucks about hospice in the first place is like the whole idea of it is like they're saying to you, hey, this person's gonna die. Prepare yourself. So then it sucks to be in a state of mind of like waiting for it.
Yeah.
So they're probably sitting there, and then every time he does anything, they're like, this is it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's not it.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, that's what happened yesterday. Is we got the phone call, and his mom was like, "You got to be here right now." I got both brothers a ticket to Arizona within 3 hours. They were there within 4 hours.
Wow. All right.
And by the time they got there, he had sort of stabilized a little bit. But still, he's in hospice, and they're not making any like huge interventions anymore. They're just keeping him comfortable. So that's when it becomes more towards the end, is because comfort measures require a lot of like morphine, and morphine drives down your breathing rate and all of that stuff.
One of my great aunt, she was when she died, I was there, and the thing was they called us. They said, hey, my family's estranged. They don't even get along. But this woman's dying, the aunt of my mother and her sisters. And so they said, come over, please. So we get there. My mom hasn't talked to her sister in 20 years.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? So they're having this little moment. And I'm like, okay. So I go inside. And then it's like, this is like, she was saying to me, my aunt was all like, we have to bring the family together, and like this is on her deathbed, you know what I mean? And I didn't think I was gonna feel anything, but I was like, oh wow, I'm glad I experienced this. And she died like 30 minutes later. She was dead, and we were calling the thing. So, I mean, I hope that they get some kind of moment like that with their dad.
Yeah, and I think that this is, I told him, it's like, because he feels like, oh, my dad's already better, maybe I should come home. And I was like, no, like, just stay there a couple days.
Stay there a couple days.
Hang out with your mom.
Bobby's not good with like that.
No, he's not. But I also think he hasn't experienced it with such a close family member before. That maybe here's my fear. I think that he thinks it'll just happen and that he'll be okay.
Right.
But my fear is that it'll hit him in a way that nothing's ever hit him in his life.
Which might be something good.
Yeah.
It might change him in a way. It might like make him like to refocus. Because I'm refocused since like I found out I'm dealing with my mom in dementia / Alzheimer's right now. It's new, it's fresh. They were living in Spain, and then like, it happened like this. I visited in December, and I knew something was up because my mom was saying things that I was like, hey, uh-oh.
Wait, so it wasn't a gradual thing? It was almost...
You know what the thing is like I knew something was up, but they were living in Spain. Because she was like repeating herself a lot. She was like, hey, and I was like, oh, maybe it's just a sign of old age type stuff. Yeah. But then like I was like, no, this is something going on. And then when I visited, I was like, oh, it's progressing. And she herself said, I'm feeling confused. I'm like,
oh, wow.
So I was like, oh, okay, this is like, she's right before. But then sure enough, when I left, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks later, it was like my stepdad's calling me like, hey, she fell down because she was out someplace walking and she was at a place she wasn't supposed to be, and then they helped her, and I was like, oh, then it just went downhill from there.
Yeah.
So she has this thing where she thinks her grandmother's alive.
Is she back here now?
Yes, they're back here now. They're in Oxnard, but she doesn't know that. She still thinks she's in Spain. My mom's crazy on Facebook. Okay, like crazy. Yeah. So it's like I have to like, so she doesn't know this, but I had to block. I made all her posts private.
Hey, that's an interesting thing that maybe none of us ever considered with dementia before, is because there is social media now.
Yes.
We can hear like their voices essentially.
Yes, and she's out there like, so I got to hit up people like, hey, I know that seemed like a crazy post.
What is she? Give me an example of.
Well, this is one of the last posts. This is to maybe make them all private. Is like 25 years ago when my mom, before she retired, I think it's even longer than that. There was this lady working at her office that she didn't like. And so, like, my mom comes from an era where being racist is totally okay. So my mom's writing a post about this woman now. And she uses the words tamale eating Guatemalan.
That's pretty good though.
But is there a part of you? There a part of you that says just let her live? Let her fucking hate Stacy and call her a tamale eating Guatemalan.
I mean, I was like, I read this and I was like, what the fuck is going on with my mom? Like, she's like bananas, man. And then, but not just that. It's so fun living in Spain. So she's combining things.
Yeah.
So she's living in Spain, and the tamale eating Guatemalan lady that she doesn't like, is she still working with her? You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, and this is all out on Facebook for people to be like, what? The fuck is going on?
Yeah.
So people are like, underneath, and so what I did was I went on. And I made I get into the settings and I made it all like every post she makes is private. Only she can see it. And she doesn't know.
Yeah,
She's just on there like typing away. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, tell that bitch off, mom.
Tamale eating Guatemala.
So I was like, oh my God. It's old school racism, man. The generation, like 2 generations before me, those people, they say whatever the fuck they want, So it's crazy. So this is something I'm dealing with. So I can understand, like, it's like it must be really hard for Bobby and his brother. They already, and they have a contentious relationship with their father anyway.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to like have that going on when you've dealt with like these things that have scarred you your whole life. It's a weird mind fuck, and I'm interested to see how they're gonna come through it.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think that a part of them will feel, it's the same way maybe I felt when my dad passed, where it was, the whole hospice thing where you think that idea that they're going to die tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then it lasts for 2 more years. And you're just sort of like, it feels like 2 years, it feels like a 2-year long breath hold.
Yeah.
You're just holding your breath for 2 years.
To the point where you want to take a pillow and just kill this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like,
but also you start to believe that maybe they just won't die.
I know.
And so when they kind of have a bad day, you're like, oh no, they'll make it through. They'll make it through. And then one day they just don't.
I know.
And
you think you're prepared for it, but like, by the way, like I have been prepared for this. So
right.
I'm not sitting around like acting crazy about her, like, oh my God. Because, for the most part, she's herself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just don't, and maybe it just hasn't hit me. Maybe it will. Maybe when it's like, that fear of like, if she ever says like, who are you? Then I'm going to be like, damn, I hope that I spent enough time and did enough where like those memories are enough.
It might, but that's the thing about dementia. It doesn't work like that because my sister, there was one time where my dad wasn't in dementia, but he was confused from his meds, I think, because I was in San Diego and I got a call from my dad, and he was already bedridden at this point, but he was home. And he told me that there was a stranger that had intruded on the house.
Ugh.
And that he needs help, that I need to call the police. And I can hear my sister crying in the background saying, Papa, it's me! It's me! Khalyla, your daughter.
Right.
And he had gotten his diaper full of shit and was trying to like do this and chuck it at her. No, you know how like you put soap in a towel and beat someone with it? That's what he wanted to do with my sister.
Wow.
And she was in hysterics because she was like, I'm your favorite daughter. She was his favorite. So I was like, shit. Like,
well, see, that's funny because my mom, when she was in Spain, like she had this delusion about her aunt and grandma are there. Okay, and so she's saying she would get on the phone with me and she'd be like, Erik, I don't know what we're gonna do. Auntie went out and she hasn't come back. And I was like, now the thing is like when it's something like that, it becomes an issue. It's one thing to like be living in a weird fantasy land, but if it's something that is making them upset every single day,
right.
Like my mom wants to walk to her grandma's house, which she thinks is 5 minutes away. So people think like, oh, you just go with it. All the people that think they understand dementia are like, just go with it. Like, no, she wants to fucking walk every day to a place it's not there.
Yeah, and another thing people don't talk about dementia is the fact that they get terribly strong when they try to fight you. It's because they're so insistent on whatever idea in their head is correct. And if you start to think that, you can set boundaries for them, fucking forget it.
In this thing too is that I didn't know this at first, and I'm talking about this on stage now. That's how I deal with it, is that, you're not supposed to argue with them. You're not supposed to reason with them. But I didn't know that at first.
Just keep them safe, calmly.
Yeah. So no, but I'm in there like.
Them.
So what do you tell her when?
But at first I was like, Grandma's dead. You know what I mean? That's how I was.
And she's like, what? Like, no, she's not.
No, yeah. It's like, she's like, it's like an insistence that like, no, you're wrong. She's like, Grandma's house is right over here. So now it still happens. So now she's like, at first she was like, then she'd be like, let's get in the car. I'll show you where it is. And I'm like, okay, get in the car then, woman. You know what I mean? So now we're in the car driving around for 45 minutes. And she's like, make a left, make a right, make a left, make a left, make a right. Yeah. It's over here. And then she's like, you know what? I just need to find the river. I'm like, bitch, there's no river around here. Okay, where river? Where the river at? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but see, the thing is like you become uncomfortable. That's the problem. Is like, you have to like be like, okay. So I've just come up with other techniques. I'm like, Grandma called. She's not feeling well today. You shouldn't come since you went yesterday. Then she's like, oh, okay.
Oh.
It's just stuff like that. You just have to like redirect. Music works. It's a lot.
And it's ever evolving too.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be next time. It could be, maybe she thinks she's got to go to work. This could be a thing where she's like, oh, I'm still working. So she's going to get up every morning to get dressed to go to work.
How's your stepdad dealing
He's
with
great.
it?
The salt of the earth. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's the Khalyla of that relationship.
That's a good one.
Wait, does Bobby have dementia?
He might.
You know,
Wouldn't that explain it all?
No, he really like. I do worry about his memory lapses. Like he
worries about
does.
it.
Yeah, like there's some times where I'm like,
Well, that's what I've been worried about too, because I thought, damn, if this happens to my mom, what's going to be? Where am I going to be in 30 years? So that's why I started working on my diet. Because when you look up the things that cause dementia or the things that they say are leading to it, it's like high cholesterol, high blood pressure, inflammation, low testosterone. So I was like, oh, I got to go take care of this. So I'm going to this place, Next Health, plug, shout out to them. And they have this thing, Next Health is great. So they have that's where you do cryo. They have all the IV treatments.
I like the B12.
B12 and all that kind of stuff. So I went and got this like blood test, and it was great because it's like $199, but it's this comprehensive exam that they do of your blood. And so the great, because the guy is this like, he's gay, you know what I mean? But he's like super into like, preventative medicine. So he's like, he sees my chart and he's like, your vitamin D is down. We got to get this D up. You know what I mean? He's like so excited about it. He was like, he's circling all the things. Oh my God. And he's telling me about like, oh, you must have cravings. You must get sick, because he's looking at my blood and being like, and this is the thing that we don't do in the United States, is we don't focus on preventative medicine. It's all about
Quick fix. Yeah.
all the things. Once you find out you have it, here's the medications. But there's actually things. So I'm trying to do those things right now. Like I say, I'm doing cryo. Once I started taking vitamin D, my mood changed. My hair is fucking growing and shit. And I started doing this thing called bioidentical hormone treatment. And that's
How's
like,
that different from like regular hormone treatment? Is it just compounded in
It's-
a pharmacy synthetically? or
I
something like that?
think so. I think it's made from something that is like not
Plant-derived.
not harmful like some of the other like steroids or whatever that kind of stuff is. So they put it in your booty. You know what I mean? They make a little slit. They put it in.
What are you low on? The testosterone?
My testosterone was low, and here's the thing that I didn't think that it was like. You hear about low testosterone, so you think like, oh, your dick doesn't work, and you don't want to do this and that. But because that's not a problem for me, girl. That ain't no problem, KK.
Scorpion lashes.
Scorpion lashes. So for our new podcast coming monthly,
Check it out.
check it out. Scorpion lashes. We let Khalyla actually talk. But we do get to call her bitch every now and then. But so it's like, so I had just like, so like your number's I think you're supposed to be at like 1,100, 1,200, and mine was less than 200, and I was like, what the fuck? So then I started doing the thing, and then 4 weeks later, I get another blood test. Then the lady calls me and she's like, oh my God, Erik, you're doing so well. You know what I mean? Like it was like all these things, and I'm taking all these supplements and stuff too, like like vitamin D, turmeric, and like
I take all that. I take turmeric. I take vitamin D because a long time ago I read that
half the population.
yeah, half the population is actually vitamin D deficient.
Yes, and people
Really?
don't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, people just don't know. They think, well, I'm out in the sun, but it's not enough. I encourage everybody to go out and get those types of tests done. Just a regular preventative medicine blood test, just to see where are your levels.
And without vitamin D, you don't activate the calcium in your body. So
A lot of shit. But here's something else I found is like she was when he was going through the test, he was like, see, this is whatever it was like letting me know that my insulin levels were a certain way. He was like, this is probably why you have cravings. And I was like, I do have fucking cravings.
Yeah.
I'll be driving home like, I gotta get a donut. Like,
yeah,
don't have that shit anymore.
really.
I don't have like cravings for sweets anymore. Like where I need to have it.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it was a thing until it was gone. So now it's like I'll have, like, oh, this is nice, but it's like it's a treat as opposed to like me trying to self-medicate.
yeah, yeah.
So I do suggest people go out there. So, I was like, all right, let me work on this stuff. And then it was like, then it was like, oh, this is why you have like belly fat and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, wow, you can see all this from a blood test. And so I'm working on all this stuff, so I just have to like not add a workout to it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to like,
you boxing
slim
for
down.
a
Yeah. But the thing was, it was hard because I was like started to travel a lot.
Yeah.
It was like 1 month where I was out every weekend of the month, and then it was like, oh, fuck, then you got to get back to it. Then I hurt my fucking ankle. It's just always something.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing. Do we have an ad, George? Yeah. Okay, we're going to take a break for a sponsor.
Yes, Khalyla, we do have a sponsor. Brr, brr. Oh, what's that, Eric?
It's ShipStation.
Oh, wow.
Guys, if you're a small business and you need to send out some shipping and you don't want to spend the cost of like one of those big companies.
Yeah.
You go to ShipStation, right? And ShipStation, you get your orders out quickly, save money on shipping costs, and keep your customers happy.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what we need. Like, so it's like, if you're a little business and you just make a few T-shirts, you make candles. Or
We use ShipStation.
We actually use ShipStation. to send our
TigerBelly
merch.
uses ShipStation to send out all their merch, and bags of
Oh, I
shit.
just got the stickers in. I needed to bring them today.
Oh, nice.
ShipStation.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Tell us
Guess
more
what?
about it,
Griffin
Gil.
with Griffin will probably send his merch through
Yeah,
ShipStation.
I will use ShipStation with the promo code Belly.
Yeah, and right now listeners can try ShipStation free for 60 days when you use the promo code BELLY. There's absolutely no risk, and you can start your free trial without even entering your credit card info. Just visit ShipStation.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in BELLY. That's ShipStation.com. Then enter the promo code BELLY. ShipStation.com. Make ship happen.
Hey guys. Boom, boom, boom. You know what? Sometimes we live in a hodgepodge world right now where we don't know where we're from, who we're from, who our family is, who our parents are, really, sometimes.
Yeah.
And a way to find that out, to really get to know who you are and what part of the world you might have come from, 23andMe. You get a DNA test, a little personal kit comes to you. You put whatever you have to put in there, right? It's a little saliva.
Spitting. It's very easy, and you ship it out.
You ship it out, and then the results come back, and then that's when
And it tells you how much Neanderthal you are.
Oh, how much Neanderthal was Bobby?
Ooh, not much.
Really?
Yeah, much lower than me. Because
Oh,
he's
you're
Asian, right?
totally understand that.
But do you know want to hear something interesting about Bobby? He has a muscle composition of an elite power athlete.
True.
Wow. Well, that means you know what? Then his parents must have dropped him a lot. And that's how you can you want to find out what you really were supposed to be and really get on your parents like, "Hey, what happened? I'm an elite power athlete." Get your 23andMe test. Tell us more about it, Gilbert.
I will. 23andMe reports do not diagnose disease or describe overall likelihood of developing any disease. 23andMe tests selected genetic variants only. Visit 23andme.com/TigerBelly for important test information. Order your health and ancestry kit at 23andme.com/TigerBelly. And you can meet your genes in 125 plus personalized genetic reports. That's number 23andme.com/TigerBelly. Enjoy the rest of the show.
And once again, when we come back from ad reading and break, bitch!
It's like the ultimate multi-cam reversal.
Bitch. What does he always say about you can like peel a banana with your foot? Is that like?
I think that's
He does a lot of Filipino racial things.
Yeah, he's got
You
a
can
lot
make
of
those up.
Filipino.
None of them are true.
That is. Hang on 1 second.
Look,
That
you
is
hear the
true.
sensitivity in his voice?
None of them are true.
It's actually not true.
Just because you're the only Filipino that can't point with your lips or pick up shit with your toes does not mean it's not true.
Yeah.
You're just.
Let me ask you
I think
this.
that
I
our
can't peel a
dexterity.
banana with
Let me ask you, do you have a rice cooker at home?
Yeah.
Of
Filipino. How many vases do you have at your place?
Vases, that's a thing. That's a
That's a
game?
thing.
I know, but it
might be a Filipino
One of my
American.
ex-girlfriends was Filipino. I'll never do it again.
3 vases.
You got vases, right? Karaoke machine.
No,
Parents'
Magic
house.
Mike.
It's Magic Mike.
Same
It's
fucking
not a machine.
thing.
Those old school things are massive.
It's a Magic Mike, bro.
Okay, whatever. And there's like at least 3 pictures of Jesus.
Yes, very much.
Filipino.
Baby Jesus. Baby Jesus.
In fact, if you go to the shop in the Philippines, I bought a couple of pictures from there. They have Jesus doing everything. You can buy a poster of Jesus on a guitar,
Yeah.
Jesus on a motorcycle.
I think Jesus would have a podcast now if he was out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right? Would that be great? Welcome to Jesus Lashes.
Storms.
Yeah. I know. This would be wine all of a sudden. Welcome to Jesus Podcast. Dude.
So since you're on this new health kick, what do you think it would take for Bobby to actually change his lifestyle?
Unfortunately, and I mean this in all sincerity, unfortunately, something bad's going to have to happen.
That's what he says too.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because his state of mind is so weird. Like maybe you need to take him to like you need to take, you know how it's like Scared Straight? Like you need to take him someplace where there's guys in their 40s who like, their dick doesn't work.
They're all Korean.
Or they're Korean and they're like,
But I've tried scare tactics with him, and this is why I fear for his early onset dementia, is because he is fearful in the moment and he is a believer and he's like, all right, babe, I'm going to change.
I know.
And then 8 hours, he will forget how he felt. He will forget the whole experience.
You need to start taping him.
I was like, this is what you do.
This is what you said. Look.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
He will still say that.
You know what I mean? He doesn't watch his own podcast, so he doesn't even know all the things that he says and reveals. But you should do that because I want to do that. Because my mom, by the way, had this like procedure done because she had they took the MRI and there was fluid in her blood, in her brain.
Oh, shit.
So they did a epidermal thing and like drained the fluid.
Like the cerebral spinal
fluid.
fluid?
Yeah. And so the doctor said she could possibly improve. We haven't seen it yet. It's still the same thing. Like I was talking to her the other day and I was like, wow, she sounds better.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, and I can see my grandma's house. And I was like, ah! You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like one of those like, oh, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But anyways, we have to figure out. Maybe we should just use the TigerBelly army. Like maybe people have to just like tweet at him. Maybe we need to have like, maybe we need to like get a phone number that people can call and leave messages saying like, Bobby, we love you. Get your fat ass to the gym, or Bobby, like work on your health. And then if it's like 1,000 messages,
That might.
you know what I mean?
I don't think
1,000 messages.
I feel
You
like
underestimate his stubbornness.
I know what could work. I feel like if Erik, you just go dark for like 5 months, you
Yeah.
get abs, you get ripped.
I know.
And he sees that.
No. We have to.
You might-
What if we make it seem like you and I are having an affair?
Sweetie.
we
so Eric's
we
doing
figure
this-
out,
Erik doesn't
He's
have
doing
dementia. I
His
want to
bioidentical
fuck.
hormone therapy.
Yeah, but that doesn't even work on. Nothing works on her. I'd have to be like, come over and look at my mess I got.
Look at these cans in the back of my
Look at these
seat.
cans.
I feel like you guys.
I just heard to
touched
take
on-
a can like this and just throw it. And she's like, oh,
You know, you gotta hit
shit.
me with a can. You gotta throw the full can at my face.
Yeah, he found. Yeah, you guys are like a match made in like I don't know where. I don't know where it was made.
I think I have Stockholm syndrome.
Oh.
Yeah. But not in the same way. Like, I don't think he's my abuser, but I think that I am addicted to his type of chaos that I find
Wow.
I identify with
Makes
with
you
my
feel-
role in his life as sort of this caretaker. And it's probably really sick. And
Yeah,
it's-
maybe, but yeah.
And I should pull back a little so he doesn't, think that everything's just always taken care of.
Yeah, because then he'll start to get resentful. It's like when I was in high school, I didn't drink alcohol, and I had a bunch of buddies that like to drink and smoke and do all this stuff. So you didn't want to be the guy that every time you're around, you're like, "Oh, you guys, you drinking again?" Because then it turns into like, let's not hang out with him.
Yeah.
Like they don't like, oh, maybe. Oh, you know what, Erik?
Yeah.
You're right. Let's throw this alcohol and stop smoking. That's not how it works. It actually is the reverse.
Yeah.
Maybe if you like start, what if? Oh man.
Me start working out?
No, you don't. What if you just get
Just get real
super
fat? What if I go out to eat with
No,
him
because
every
he'll-
time? No,
no.
I can't do that to myself.
No, because he'll just leave you.
He's a shallow
That's
bastard.
the sad part about it is you have to be a caretaker and be hot. That's ridiculous. Like he's gonna be in like a bed like this, and he's gonna be like, Khalyla, go work out. You're like, what if he's
would
like,
too.
he's like, you're getting fat.
Do you know what this guy does? So I go to Barry's boot camp, and sometimes I go to do a spin class.
Does he have a weigh-in?
No, he goes to Barry's boot camp, buys a smoothie, buys a Barry's boot camp T-shirt, and sports it around like he does the workout. He's never done a Barry's
bought a
boot camp
shirt.
workout ever. And the other day,
But that's the
he has
joke.
3 Soul Cycle sweatshirts. When I go to the gym and he's on his way to Dunkin' Donuts because Dunkin' Donuts is right next to it, he will stop by,
Which is ridiculous.
buy a sweatshirt
right.
from Soul Cycle and sport it like he's part of the.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't understand why like places like Curves and that kind of places like it's in the same places at Applebee's.
I
Jack in the
know.
Box.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's like you can cash a check and have a donut and work out.
And he does this thing where he tries to lie to his doctor. So what he does is every time he goes in a doctor's appointment, he's in full workout gear.
What?
He wears the tights. You know,
That
the tights
is fucking
underneath
hilarious.
underneath the
Wait,
basketball shorts.
Does he get himself like worked up? Then he comes in the doctor's office. Oh, I ran here.
Basically, yeah. He looks like an athlete. Actually, he looks like one of those Korean speed skaters
Never.
with like a full bodysuit.
Wait. You know what? I think I know what the problem with her is. Like, do you actually know what an athlete looks like? What if she's still like, you like, oh.
You have never seen Bobby in a bodysuit then, because he knows how to like pull it in and just look the part.
Does he have a girdle?
He spanks, yeah.
Oh God,
Do men wear girdles?
I used to.
Yeah,
I think they can.
On a
should.
dine up here, I had a tank top.
Yeah.
You know, just to like, 'cause I didn't want to feel too lumpy.
Yeah.
So just like in a little compression shirt.
Yeah, underneath like I imagine that would be it.
But Bobby always looks like a little pear. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I
and
don't
you know,
care.
he has his skin is very taut and very youthful. Like he's 13 years older than me, but his skin is so much better than mine. And maybe I'm living wrong because if you touch his back,
Look how he has her thinking. You know what I mean?
I'm living
you,
wrong.
You do have Stockholm. You're like,
I do.
I'm not doing life right.
I'm not living my life the way I should. I need to go to Dunkin'
But
Donuts.
he has a rhino hide. If you touch his back, there's just not a single pore. It's very taut. And everything is just so tight and smooth.
What
on
if you
his
find
body.
out he's been getting like plastic surgery this whole time, and he goes to a place and they pull his back and they cut off the excess fat
And hide the pores.
and they hide
the pores.
Yeah, he's getting some pore surgery. You know, like
And he is Korean.
some
they all
South
do
Korean.
that, right?
Where's the crazy place? South Korea or North Korea? South Korea.
The crazy place?
North Korea.
North Korea.
North.
George, do you agree to South Korea?
Yeah.
Well, for plastic surgery, I was.
Yes, for cosmetic
okay.
surgery in
Yes,
South
yes,
Korea.
yes.
Everyone
Missiles.
goes there for
But
that.
North Korea, yeah. Plastic surgery is so weird to me though, because it's like people that continuously get plastic surgery. First of all, isn't it supposed to be that people don't know you got plastic surgery? Like it's supposed to be something subtle where people are just like, oh, that looks good.
I'm glad people are looking really artificial, and I'll tell you why.
But they look like they all have the same father.
Yeah, I know. And everyone has the same Instagram face.
Yeah.
It's all the girls in LA are starting to really look alike. And I'm not knocking anyone, whatever makes them feel better. But the reason that I want them to look fake is that so younger kids can know that that's the fake look. That's not a standard or a beauty standard that they have to live up to. That is an obvious job that someone did.
But but the people that are doing that, they're all they look the way they look.
Mm-hmm.
They see something different in the mirror.
I think so too.
You know, I think they see something different in the mirror, like, and I think we all do that actually. Like I sometimes like it's like when we look in the mirror, we're already immediately in our skinny angle. Like you just do it instinctively.
Yeah.
You know?
Really? You do?
Yeah, I have a thing where I'm like, oh yeah, look at you, Griffin. What's going on, bro? You know, you looking good today. But then like I see myself on camera or something, and I'm like, oh my god, who is that monster right
You know,
there?
you're right.
Yeah.
You are so right. Because when I look at myself from the side, like when I happen to watch the podcast, I'm like, oh my fucking God. That's not how I view myself.
Right. We don't view ourselves the way we actually look.
Yeah.
Which is like that's why you have to just love yourself regardless. You know, but just try to find a way to be as healthy as possible, right? Is that a
Reasonable thing
Is
to
that,
ask.
is that a normal thing?
Is that a normal thing?
That we can go with?
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, do you find women who get cosmetic surgery attractive?
When you know what? I shouldn't say that because like I don't care about fake titties. Like fake titties are fine.
No, but I mean like
They
things
but they
that you don't
sometimes
know
they don't
about,
feel good.
like cheek fillers, Botox, things like that.
I would like to know. Damn, I remember when my ex-girlfriend like she was getting her lashes done all the time, and I didn't know. You know, scorpion lashes. I didn't know, but then like when she couldn't get them anymore, and she was like, "Oh, these are kind of expensive." Then I thought about it. I was like, "Oh, I don't even know what you look like without those lashes." But she still looked. It's fine.
It's fine.
You know, it's fine. So I think those kind of little things are fine.
Yeah.
But if it turns, because I feel like it's addictive. It turns into a thing where they're like, oh, well, if I just get this here, like I wanted to like get my nose. I always thought I was going to get a nose job. So let me show you what I want to do. You ready?
Yeah.
So here's my nose. So I'm cute. Fine.
No. No.
Let me show you again. You didn't see it right.
Wait, can you go do it from the skinny angle?
The skinny,
There
oh
you
yeah.
go.
You look like Linda Blair when you did that.
Wait, no, okay. See, right now I'm just cute, sexy as fuck.
No, because I don't like pig noses.
George, you see it. He got a big nose. He knows what I'm talking about. Because it's too droopy right here. So let me show you again.
No, but you have a Kobe nose.
Kobe Bryant?
Yeah.
How do you know what Kobe's nose?
I
Yo,
love
hold on,
Kobe's
that is-
nose.
Look up Kobe
Look at
Bryant's
Kobe's nose and tell me he doesn't have Kobe's nose.
have Kobe's
This
nose?
part is a little bit lower than
weirdest Google
the
search
outer
ever.
part
I
of
should
your
start
nose.
being like that. Yo, guess what? I got Kobe's nose.
Oh, you do have like a Kobe
I
Bryant.
told you.
Wow.
Great nose. You have a great nose.
That's like a Jeopardy. Like she could be on a game show. Whose nose is this? Kobe Bryant.
You didn't think anyone was going to get that. That was weird.
yeah.
It's the same,
Wow.
right?
It's very similar. It droops a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, well there it is. All right, but I got over it. But there was something about where I was like, because I see people's nose, like people, you have an adorable nose. You have
No,
a
I
nice-
don't. Look at. Okay, so
She doesn't
this,
like it.
Look at.
Oh, you know what? From the
Look.
side, I see it. It is a little beaky.
More self-conscious now?
Yeah. She has like a little like. There's a little.
Record like this.
There's a little.
it's too canny.
There's a
Too
little.
canny.
There's a little ski hump in the middle.
You know what my dad used to say?
What?
Oh, he would always try to make me feel better about it because my sister has the most perfect petite nose ever. Just a
Sibling rivalry your whole life.
perfect face.
Just say it. You hate that bitch. Just say it.
But my dad used to always say, "No, your nose is great. It's called Aqualine. Tom Cruise has it." I'm like,
I hate when somebody picks somebody whose nose is
I know.
fucking horrendous
And I'm like, fucking
to make you
Tom-
feel better. Oh, he's basically saying, look, Tom Cruise made it with a bullshit nose.
Yeah.
You can make it too. No, I've always had a thing about because when I was, I've grown into my nose finally.
Wait, doesn't your nose continue to grow?
No,
when you get
because when
older?
I had a full man's nose at 3 years old.
Oh.
So I just feel like that because my nose was, that was my thing. I knew I was going to be able to become a comic. I used to get teased about my nose all the time. You have a big nose. I would go to school. After 3 days, I'm like, I'm just waiting for it. The big nose comments are going to come. And there it is. You got a big nose. So it wasn't until I started making jokes about it myself that then I was laughing with everyone. That's when it literally stopped. It didn't bother me anymore. But I used to get some really bad, like, it was like, oh God, I hate it. I shouldn't even say this on this fucking show. What am I saying this
Yeah,
stuff
what are you-
for?
you're setting yourself
on
up
fucking
for
TigerBelly.
disaster.
I know.
But I was
this is
just gonna
disaster.
ask you, what does
But
get to
Humpty
you?
Dance was the one that, like, oh my God. That was a nightmare for, like, still to this day. Is that Humpty from Yes, I get busy in a Burger King bathroom. Fuck.
Oh, but okay. So, what are things that you're sensitive about now? Like, when you're a comic, does that just all your sensitivities go away about yourself?
No, not at all. They're actually more heightened. You know what I mean? You're just aware. You're so insecure and just aware of everything at all times. Bobby and I are similar that way.
Yeah, it's
know?
funny how you guys are very similar that way because I think that you love you for the most part love yourself. But are very, very quiet about the parts that you don't love about yourself.
Well, the
so
thing
you
too-
highlight all the other things.
Well, how about this? It's like this is the thing too. Is like you love yourself, and then you're curious as to why other people don't love you for the same thing. So then you
Yeah.
kind of like that's where you're like, what? I like this about me. It's like, but it's like it's just a weird thing.
And you know what? That's one of the things that I found most attractive about Bobby is that he always, when you hear him, he's always like, "Oh, I'm this like short, dumpling or whatever." He self-deprecates, right? But when that man looks at himself in the mirror, he is feeling himself, and there is nothing.
First of all,
He does it all the time.
First of all, that little fuck is always feeling himself.
He is feeling
like I don't,
himself.
but I don't. When he starts talking this shit, I don't buy it anymore. I know him so well now that I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
whatever, bro.
Yeah, he thinks he is the sexiest man alive. He thinks he should be on People magazine.
Well, it works. He has no business being with you.
But I really like that about him because I've dated much just
Much handsomer man.
not handsomer,
say
but
it.
taller,
More handsome.
buffer.
Yeah, she was like, no, not more. No. Bigger dicks.
Stereotypically.
Nicer shoulders, can get things from the top shelf.
The one thing I found
Look
most
good oiled.
unattractive. They do look good oiled. But the one thing I found most unattractive in a guy, I remember I was dating this guy and he was 6'4", built, massive, very handsome, is when after I saw him naked once and I walked in on him naked and
Right.
he covered himself like a little bitch, like, "Oh no, don't look at me like this." And I was like, "Oh my God, I may never recover from that." Whereas Bobby, if I were to walk in on him taking a shit, he'd like happily fling his poo at me like confidently and be like, "This is me, bitch, accept me."
Like a man that throws his shit at me.
Yeah, but that type of confidence really, really
So he
carries
throws his
it.
shit at you and you're like, get over here and fuck me now.
Basically.
Take that can, put it in your car first.
What you doing with all these cans? They're just gonna be down on the ground? You just want him to hit it doggy style while you like cans are all over you.
He can't hit it doggy style. His legs are too short. We've
Oh.
been through
Yeah,
this.
we've gone
Oh.
over.
The first time we ever had
Is that your
sex,
favorite position though?
No,
missed it?
thank God it was never my
Yeah,
favorite
you
position.
would have broken up with him.
Yeah. The
You know what I
first
mean?
time we ever had sex, he like stopped midway and then just took off and left Long Beach
Oh yeah.
because he was too embarrassed to tell me his thighs were burning and he didn't want to, because he was like
Shame.
like,
Because of
be like
the
this.
fat
Yeah,
was
he'd be
just
like this, right?
uh-huh.
Normally doggy style like
Right.
this. He was like this.
the thigh master workout,
Yeah, his legs were
the
burning.
doggy style workout.
And he didn't have it in him to tell me to lay flat prison style.
Oh.
So he was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to leave. And I was just like, what is happening? Is this
Prison
part
style?
of his, like, yeah, prison style, flat, face down.
But did that make you kind of like you didn't know why he left?
No,
So
I
was there
didn't.
something about it that you were like,
Mysterious.
oh my God, he just left me.
Like, yeah.
He just left me like I'm a dirty whore.
I was into it. I was like,
This bitch is crazy.
could be a thing.
We got to maybe we have to rescue Bobby from you. That's what I'm seeing right now. This is insane.
Oh, God.
I don't know, but confidence is like, I think that is that's a thing. You know, being confident about like yourself and how you talk. And my whole thing is like, I gotta get you one-on-one. Let me get you one-on-one and we'll start talking. And because I'm attentive,
You know, you really are, though. There is a party, like when I think that the reason I'm happy that you're in Bobby's life is that you're one of the few people in his life that actually listens to him, understands him, and tries to problem solve with him.
Yeah.
Other people don't offer that same tangible kind of help with him. They're always like either critiquing something about him, saying, you're crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy. But when shit goes down, you really, really are there for him every time.
Yeah, that's why I was really upset that he lied to me about his uncle. When all he had to say was like, dude, I don't want to come out to Culver City right now.
Yeah.
That's all he had to say. He comes fucking calling me my uncle. And then I'm all like, oh, let me call Steve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, is everything, are you guys okay?
You're just sitting there smiling at Shab.
Yeah.
And wait, weren't we recording a
These two
podcast?
Yeah, that's live
we
on
were
the podcast.
we were recording. You were getting ready.
These two fucks, And then Shab's all like, bro, I don't know why you did that. I'm sorry. I was like, no, you are.
He loved it.
Yeah, you're a fucking part of this shit. Shab's still mad at me from like when he the first time I ever seen him do comedy, I didn't even know him. I just heard like, oh, there's this UFC fighter doing comedy. So I'm watching his set, and it was way back, okay? And I'm just like, oh, it just annoyed me because he's this big, muscular dude, and now you're gonna do my thing?
Good looking. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of here doing my thing. So then I went up after him and I was like, oh yeah, guys, that was like if I start doing UFC fighting for no reason. How would you feel if I was like, I want to fight? Wouldn't you be upset about it? But so I don't know, but I think he took it a little personal at the time because then he went on Rogan and talked about it. Yeah, Erik Griffin was like, you know what I mean? But that's just what we do.
That's
We like
very
fucking shit on
funny,
each
though.
other. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's just a funny thing to say, but like cut to like he's done a special, he's got a successful podcast, he's transitioned into
Killing
the
it,
entertainment
yeah.
business. He's killing it. But it's like, because there's no right or wrong way to do this these days. You find your path and you do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that people are really harsh about that. When people dip their hands in multiple cookie jars, people aren't into it. They're like, nope, you have one job and you should stick to that job alone, as if you just can't venture out to do other
You
things.
can't do that now. You can't. If I was just a comic, I'd be fucking working at Starbucks to try to make ends meet. I'd be driving Uber or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
You'd be surprised how many Uber drivers I've come across who say they're like multimillionaires.
Dude, just happened to me. Okay, and I'm actually gonna.
That's a thing.
I'm gonna shout this guy out.
Everyone's just full of shit, but I think that
My Uber driver in Texas, okay? My Uber driver in Texas was, we're just driving. He's talking, because he's one of these guys that just wants to talk. He's like, so what do you do, man? He's like cool, like little round black dude. And he starts telling me like, I tell him what I do, and he's like, well, damn, he goes, I'm actually a Houston rapper, And I'm like, okay. His name's Lil O.
let me see.
That's his name. His name's Lil O.
Oh, he's got a good following too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's like, and so we start talking, and he's like, it turns out he's actually a pretty successful,
Yeah.
on the scene. He does shows, he travels around the world. So shout out to Lil O, and he And then he's like, yeah, I just drive Uber because all my show money, he goes, I buy property with that.
Yeah.
And he's just like, so I'm like, oh, wow. So here's an example of somebody that's just like, you need something to do. Here's a quick way to make money. You got the time. You know what I mean? Maybe you're in a relationship. You need a break from your, and it's like, this is a way to like,
Especially living in LA. Like,
cut to Khalyla in an Uber.
do I need to start?
It might be the thing. You
do it for one
just out
day.
here doing Uber.
Side hustle?
Yeah.
No, but a lot of these, like I remember one of my drivers who drove me to the hospital to see my stepdad years ago. He was like he was recurring on Sons of Anarchy.
Right.
Wow. And I was like,
well, that just lets you know that like people think because you're on TV, you're making a lot of money.
yeah.
Let me let you know. My first 3 seasons of Workaholics, if I wasn't doing stand-up, I would have had to get a day job. Okay?
Really? Even the 3rd season?
It's not a lot of money, man. It's not a lot. You're not making a lot of money. You're making like, it's like, let's say you make like $3,000 an episode or something like this. It's basic cable. It was a shit deal. Like that was my first big thing. So I wasn't making a lot of money. I was only doing like 4 episodes. Yeah. So I'm not living off, even if I made $20,000, $30,000 for those 4 episodes in that year, I'm not living off that. That's not everything. Right. I got to pay rent. I got bills. I got to, so just because you see somebody on TV, it doesn't mean they're making it.
Exactly.
So, but sometimes though, I don't like you see somebody in like a really fancy ass car. Yeah. And then they're doing Uber. Come on. You living beyond your means.
Leasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Leasing.
Yeah, but come on. Come on.
And a Corolla.
Here's how I know how I can get this Jaguar. I'm gonna drive Uber Black. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I think that's the one thing that people find really weird about me.
What's that?
Is that like I refuse to buy a car.
No, you're just Filipino.
What, we just own bicycles?
I haven't heard this stereotype.
Yeah, what's this new stereotype? Teach us.
They're cheap.
Oh, okay.
Look at these 2 fucks. Look at these 2 fucks. Oh, okay. Is this gonna be bad? Oh yeah, we are cheap. We're cheap as fuck.
I remember the only time you've ever hurt my feelings.
Oh, here we go, everybody. She's been waiting on. She's been sitting on this one, but we're gonna go to a sponsor first. We'll be right back, bitch. Okay, and we're back. And we're back. When did I hurt your feelings?
Since we're talking about money and how I'm too cheap to buy a car, and it's not that. It's because you're right about being the whole Filipino thing. Yeah. All of my money goes to like sending my nieces and family to school and stuff, right? Christ. So yeah, that's that. But anyway,
there's like a laundromat in the Philippines being sponsored by
Khalyla.
It's called KK.
KK Laundries.
Yeah.
Massage parlor laundry.
But there was this one time where we all went out to dinner, and I don't know if it was a special occasion, but Coke was in town.
Oh yeah.
Everyone was in town, and we were all like, I was like, oh, this is really
I remember
nice.
This.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? Like, I'm really happy that all these guys are together. So I went up and I paid for the bill of Korean barbecue.
Right, I remember
there were
this.
10 of us, right?
Yeah.
And you and you went over to Bobby and you were like, really loud. You were like, where the fuck does she get this money?
I did
and
not
it was my hard-earned money.
Where does this bitch get this money?
I did not say that. You you heard wrong.
No. And I was like,
you heard wrong.
I remember thinking, I was like, this motherfucker, I just paid for that fucking bulgogi in your mouth. And
Still
See, that's why I don't like letting people pay for shit, because they want to hold it over your head. See what I mean?
Well, no. I didn't hold anything over your head.
Nobody asked you to pay for that. That was on
I was
you.
happy to, and you were like, you slammed me, but you did this, and you're like,
no, because I was like,
no,
because I was like, no, you misunderstood. I was getting on Bobby because he let you pay.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been holding on to this for a long time. It's been eating away at you.
Yeah.
Resentment.
Yeah, that resentment is not
Actually,
good.
I don't hold on to things very long. Do you?
Yeah, for the rest for my life.
Really? Are you a grudge holder?
It's not that I hold a grudge, but I remember it.
But like, what's remembering?
Why? You know why? Because you know why? It's like if you stab me with a knife, I can heal, but there's gonna be a scar.
Okay, I get that, but is remembering and treating that person? Are you still treating them exactly the same way as if you didn't remember?
Well, were you? Do you feel better now?
No,
Is our relationship
really.
different now that you got that off your chest?
For 2.5 minutes, and that was it.
I think it was longer than that. I think she was in the car like, how dare he say that, Bobby? I don't know, you know.
No, it just honestly sprung in my head because you mentioned the whole money and the Filipino cheap thing. So you're the one who drudged up that memory.
Oh,
That's on you.
That's on you.
see how she did it? See how that was very tactful.
That was a very Bobby Lee thing
skill.
to do.
That was so
It's Bobby
skillful
Lee.
of him.
I
Very
flipped that
Bobby
shit on
Lee.
you.
You learn. You're learning. He's gonna watch like the teacher becomes the master. The student becomes the master.
He is a very cunning motherfucker, though, man. He like alters your own sense of yourself. You're like, maybe I am like that.
Yeah.
He's a fucking ninja. God, he's a bastard.
I don't know. I mean, I guess when you know someone so well, so when I see him pretend mad about things, or like when he's all like, he's like, I'm not gonna do well. No, everybody's funnier than me. I'm like, you don't think that, and he doesn't really think that.
I imagine he does that out of like superstition. He thinks. I think that now, when I've seen him do that enough, he thinks that if he just downplays his own talents enough, that he'll feel like he actually achieved something.
Yeah, but see, him and I had this same thing where it's like, I know that if I'm on a show, people are going to have a good time. I don't care who's on the show. Nobody's going to be like, oh, that guy doesn't need to be on the show.
Yeah.
No, they're going to be like, hey, that guy was funny and these other guys. And that's how Bobby feels too. So then when we don't get things that we see other people getting, that's a little slight. So like, wait a minute. Why are you treating us like that? And then we start thinking about all our insecurities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like he's like, oh, I'm short, round, and I'm Asian, and my belly button is deep enough to do. You know what I mean? you could probably fuck Bobby's belly button.
Is there a belly button? Do people have belly button fetishes? Like for like outies or innies, or is that a thing or not?
But he's got a shot glass.
He's got an innie outie.
Ugh.
Because he actually naturally has an innie, but his fat is slowly pushing out an outie. Oh. So he has an outie inside an innie.
The more you
Maybe a scorpion innie.
If he gets any tighter around the belly, it's gonna pop out like a pregnant woman.
Well, yeah, it is. It is pretty much like a little Ethiopian kid.
Yeah, because he's pretty small, and everywhere else
He has a weird, like, his head is like, it's not his head. It's almost like he got a head transplant. You know what I mean? Like he was a baby and they were like, we're gonna lose him. but if we put this panda bear's head on his body, he'll survive. What if he's secretly shaving every day he has to shave the panda off of him?
Oh no!
But he does
He's
have
not here to defend himself.
Oh, he'll be fine. Don't
I'm
worry.
really enjoying this.
But he's got
He's never said anything about anybody else.
Yeah, by the way,
You should air out your grievances while he's not here.
Yeah, because I'll get the
Bobby.
Google alert. Bobby Lee says Erik Griffin's breath stinks. Next on TigerBelly. Bobby Lee says Eric's house is weird. Like everything he said, I get a Google alert about.
I
this
defended
shit.
you, by the way.
Thank you. I was gonna say thank you about that. He's a little piece of shit.
He always does that. He always takes little digs, and he always uses the breath thing. And I think that's because of his insecurity of the whole lacking teeth thing.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't have a lot of teeth, huh?
No, he doesn't.
Little baby shark teeth. Right? He's got these little.
He has good 4 teeth up here. His 4 in front are real good.
Oh.
Yeah, and maybe 4 in the bottom are real good.
What if this whole time you didn't know? You just caught him one take going like this, and it just came right out?
I'm really into toothless people.
You are the weirdest motherfucker.
Not
Like, listen to the list of things that turns her on. If he throws his shit at me, if there's cans
Everywhere.
in the middle of fucking me, he just confidently walks out.
Okay, listen. Let me
about
tell
to
you the
orgasm,
degree of
please.
toothlessness that I'm into. I'm not into meth head tooth loss.
Okay.
I'm into life tooth loss. Like if you're like,
He was in a bar fight. This is how I lost his tooth.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like what's that one fighter, Durkin?
Durkin.
That's
I think that's a Christopher Nolan film, Dunkirk.
no. What's his real name?
Durkin?
He's like a Gilbert. Look it up.
Give me some help. What does he look? Is he a white guy?
His fighting name is Durkin.
Okay, I'm gonna look up Durkin MMA.
Yeah.
Oh, Patrick Cummins.
Yeah, Patrick Cummins. He doesn't have the teeth, and I'm really into that. But that's because that's life toothless. That's not meth toothless.
What?
Yeah, because they got him knocked out.
Okay.
But if it's not like, I don't like tooth decay. I don't like that kind of
That guy,
tooth
see?
loss.
She likes that.
What?
Look at his face. Look at Eric's face.
What? Like you're supposed to turn around and it's supposed to be a hunk, but I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? What if you turn around? What if the guy looked a little bit like Bobby, but just with no teeth? Then you'd be like, oh, she's got a type.
Yeah.
I'd like to see pictures of your ex-boyfriends.
Oh, you want to see?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
I would love to see, because I want to see if you actually have a type, or if Bobby just was off the reservation. You know, because with my ex, I wanted to see her ex. I wanted to see, and then I was like, oh, you like 3 of these guys are chubby. I'm like, okay, you have a type.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
into
yeah.
that?
Yeah. So I want to see, and don't try to find a good picture of them too. That's what they like to do.
Okay,
right
so
now.
just keep scrolling because those are all the exes, and there's a couple.
You have an X page?
No, those are just.
These are the exes.
Describe them, Eric.
What?
Hold on, that's the tattoo artist.
Wow. Nothing like Bobby.
Don't show the picture.
Oh, okay.
Okay, keep scrolling.
Oh, this guy looks like El DeBarge right
ended
here.
up beating
This
me,
guy,
so I had to leave.
That's a Drake looking guy.
That's the same guy.
Oh, I'm about to say what?
That's one guy, yeah.
What? What? This guy is. I want to fuck this guy.
Is that the soccer player?
Yeah, that's
Okay. All right. Okay.
keep going.
Eric's face is so
Oh, wait.
confused.
I am.
Wait, I don't know.
Look how safe you look in this guy's arms.
Oh, wow. That's insane.
This is crazy. I can't even. Oh my god. What? And you're with Bobby? He should be on his knees thanking the Lord every day that this is who he's in competition
Are
with.
these dudes?
I can't even.
Okay, that's enough.
They're all muscular.
That's my guy I was with for a long time.
What?
He was the longest one. He was 5 years.
Light-skinned black dudes too? Oh my God! This guy's got prettier eyes than you.
He's a pretty.
Blue-eyed guy?
This is like a pretty-eyed dude. This is.
My ex Steve was gorgeous.
I don't know. Wow. Did you just need a break? Like what happened?
I don't know. Everybody seemed to not. There was always something missing, and I think the missing piece was what Bobby offers me, which is just pure terror.
Okay. I don't. You look so happy and safe in those guys. Like she's actually. When is the last time you had your head on a man's chest?
But I don't.
Standing up.
I have.
When's the last time you were able to go? When's the last time you slow danced where your arms were like this?
You know what? There are
Instead of having to do like this.
That's so true. There are some times where I'm like, do I miss that? But then not really. I never want to.
Like Bobby would take you dancing.
I know we've never done that.
You've never
I
done
thought
that.
at
No,
weddings.
because we don't-
Weddings, right?
When is
Yeah, for like 3 minutes, and he gets tired.
Do you remember the first time that you achieved an orgasm with Bobby?
Yeah, very quickly. I can make myself come though, like even like. Just thinking
Oh,
about
so
it.
this is the thing. He doesn't even have to work.
He doesn't have to work.
He doesn't have to do anything.
I can make like it's so easy for me to get there.
Simone Biles.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
So you don't even he doesn't even get credit for it.
He can't even get no guy can really get credit for it because like you could just blow into it and I can come. Basically.
Oh, I get
Yeah.
it. All right.
So no one can
Good for
really.
him.
Like,
Well, he needs to be with someone like that.
I think that he
He
is
can
like.
just start walking towards it. Like a little oompa loompa. Yeah. Is that a trash bag in your hand?
There was this one time where I hooked up with this really hot guy. I was traveling to the Philippines on vacation. I hooked up with this guy, and I actually was able. He never entered. He looked at my legs and he was like, "Oh, your legs!" And like he jizzed on my leg, and looking at his jizz on my leg made me come.
What?
Even-
And this explains a lot, ladies and gentlemen. The weirdness of KK.
What is the Star Wars The Force? Just
Yeah.
Come Force?
Oh, that's great. He just went like this. Yeah, that's just a jet
actually how Bobby and I
Jedi orgasm.
talk.
Just you know.
Professor Xavier Cerebro.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
What are
yeah.
we on time, Gil? Before I reveal much more.
We are good. We're at 1:15.
Oh, thank
and we
God!
still
Because
have-
if this keeps going,
I know. You just like. Well, we need to know for the next time. It's like when we do scorpion lashes. Just curious. So were you? Your freak days are done, obviously, because you're with Bobby.
Yeah.
But there was a time where you you had your horror phase where you were just like, I need to check it all out.
yeah, and it was a blast.
Yeah, I get it.
It was fun, and I have no regrets.
Yeah.
If I was single now, I'd probably fuck a whole lot still too.
Yeah.
I mean, I
well,
think-
because you're in that. Yeah, because when you're in your 30s, it's like that's when like the dirty 30s.
Yeah, I was never that type of girl that worried too much about. I was never worried about what people thought about my sexuality, how many people
good
I've
for
been
you.
with and whatnot. I did all of that. Had a whole lot of fun.
Well, that's female empowerment,
Yeah.
And you'll have more of that on Scorpion Lashes.
All right, do we have an unhelpful advice?
We do.
Unhelpful advice with Erik, Khalyla, and the Scorpion Lashes.
Should we let Erik push all his dates or anything else first?
Oh, yeah. So,
Yeah. Talk,
guys, make sure you
Riffing
listen.
with Griffin.
Go right over to Riffin with Griffin.
There's a link. Look at the video. There's a link right here.
There's a link right there. Get over to Riffin with Griffin, riffinwithgriffin.com, ericgriffin.com. I got all my dates and stuff like that there, and I'm still doing podcasts. I'm going to have Steve on again. When Steve and I get together, it's always a blast, since Bobby never comes. So we'll have to, so Steve and I are doing our thing monthly. So check that out on both our podcasts. And yeah, I thanks for having me here. I know I'm this, and let's also send our prayers and thoughts out to Steve and Bobby for their dad. I hope that if he's gonna go, that he goes peacefully, and that they find some strength in it, and maybe this will bring them closer together, and then heal all the ills, right? So that's all we can hope for.
Hey, TigerBelly. I'm 23-year-old recent grad. I'm working my first full-time job. I've been working my current job for about 7 months now. However, I've always had difficulty fitting in, and the workplace is no exception. I really only feel comfortable with a small portion of people while I feel awkward with the rest of the office. My problem. I went to an office basketball game after work, but I don't play at all. I only joined because I want to be more involved with my team in the hopes of getting closer to them. I arrived solely to be a spectator and to offer my support. Eventually got peer pressure into playing, and 10 minutes in, I got hit with a basketball right in the face. It didn't really hurt, but my dilemma is, how the fuck do you recover from something so embarrassing as that? Even though it didn't hurt, I'm still the girl who just got spiked in the face by a fucking basketball. What the fuck? Any advice how to get over general embarrassment? Love, Steph.
Well, Steph, I think you should just own it. I think that if you're embarrassed and you have a small group and you feel that, you're putting the pressure on yourself to feel like you need to be friends with more people. No, just be genuine and open when you can. People will approach you and you just go, hey, how you doing? And then you approach some people when you feel comfortable. And if people ask you like, hey, how come you don't? You go, I'm just a little shy. I would like to do that. What do you suggest? And then you just open up you open it up to them, like make it about them. Then they'll be like, oh, okay, well, hey, Steph, come on over let me introduce you to such and such and such and such,
You're right. Being a try-hard and trying to make as many friends and being that
not the way.
overly eager is such a turn-off.
Yeah, it is. It's just kind of be there, be aware. That's all you have to do. You walk around the office and you just be pleasant. You just say, hey, how you doing? What's up? And then don't worry that you're not in with all the people.
Exactly.
You just started working there. People have built these relationships for years. And some people are just like that kind of outgoing thing all the time. And just be happy with you and yourself and you'll be fine.
Yeah, and I think that all those people that you see that are super like outgoing and seemingly have a lot of friendships, they're not always the most beloved.
Yes,
My favorite
exactly.
people are the ones who are a little bit, who are more reserved with their
a
words.
little more introverted.
Yeah, that's how my sister is. She's more quiet. She's more thoughtful. She kind of, mulls things over, not outwardly. She just likes to, she's shy.
Well, 'cause she's got that nice nose.
She got the nice nose.
It's not as beaky as some people in the family. Scorpion beak.
Imagine if I just punched my own nose in right now.
Bang, bang.
Cut to her in the bathroom like, I'm a hit it.
Is that all we have, Gilbert?
Hello, guys. My name is Marcos, and I love the podcast. I need your advice on remorse and on living with guilt. I basically did something horrible when I was 16 that I regret very much. I'm now 24, but recently I've been feeling very guilty and worried. I've not been able to sleep, and I have anxiety attacks when I think about it. I feel like a fraud. I'm known for being a good son, brother, and friend, but in reality, if any of my family members or friends were to find out, they would never talk to me again. I mostly feel bad that my mom feels proud of me for being good, but that one mistake makes me feel guilty. Do you guys have any advice on living?
Well, that's the
yeah,
thing.
that's it.
Listen, we need to know what it is.
Let's
it's like
create
if
something.
like if you raped a coworker
Yeah,
or a girl, like if you some girl was passed out at a party and you had sex with her, then yes, you feel guilty, turn yourself in, or I don't know.
You know what? You deserve to live with that guilt for a really long time. You don't need to ever
Right,
get over
exactly.
it.
We
That's
need to
the price
know.
you have to pay. If you did something that drastic and horrible, the fact that you're feeling something bad is a tiny price to pay for committing something like that.
Well, let's not say that he did that, but I'm saying that's why we need to know what
Yeah,
it
like
is.
that's where we go. Like our head went there too.
Especially if you say something
Hey
like,
guys, I only just stole some candy when I was a kid.
right.
Oh God. Did you ever?
He's a little bitch.
Did you ever steal stuff when you were younger from stores?
I think I have. I've stolen
I definitely
some.
have,
You know, but it's like it's so innocent. You know, but this sounds like he did something that he's fully aware of that he did wrong. But excuse me. Oh shit! I just did a Bobby. That was great. Welcome back to TigerBelly. It just became TigerBelly when I just burped. If he's aware that, first of all, your family, they're not gonna like turn on you. You know, it sounds to me like he has a really close relationship with his family, and because he values what they think about him. Okay, so therefore, go to them. If it's a crime, if you've committed like an egregious crime, then you have to have somebody in your family that you can like let that out. You got to go to confession, go to therapy, or go to somebody in your family that you trust 100% that you're gonna feel that you have to unburden yourself whatever this is. That's
but
the
he
only
deserves
way.
that burden.
We don't know what it is.
Let's assume, let's make a scenario. You have a son. He's 24 now. He's a great kid. Kindest, most compassionate kid as far as you know. But when he was 16 years old, you know that he raped the girl.
Oh, well, then that's going to be like, that's a tough one. It's a tough one as a
How would
parent.
you have him, like, do you want him to...
I just hope that never happens.
Okay, and he tells you, Dad, I just don't know how to, I can't live with myself. I feel like I need to end my life because of something that I did.
That's such a tough one. It's like, I don't know what people feel in their face. Because there's one school of thought that's like, well, we got to go in. We got to turn yourself in. You got to go.
Full punishment.
Yeah, full punishment.
And do you think that would make him feel lighter maybe to get the punishment?
Yes and no. But okay, as the person that is in that person's life, you're going to feel shitty. Okay, so like if you're turning in your family member, you're going to have some guilt about, because one, you're going to blame yourself because you're going to feel like, oh, I didn't do enough because look what my kid did and maybe I didn't raise them right. And you're going to feel this guilt of them dealing with whatever they're going to be dealing with in jail or whatever it is like that. So you're going to have your own guilt that's going to be caused by that. But that person might be unburdened. It might be that, and when he gets out of jail, he's going to be like, oh, that was the best decisions I ever made in my life. Or he's going to be in a gang and he's,
Yeah, sure.
And he's going to, he's going to kill.
History X.
Yeah, he's going to kill 6 people in prison.
I put a scorpion lashes, bro.
Yeah, you just don't know. You know what I mean? So it's a tough one. Let's just hope it's nothing like that.
But it's probably not a crime. It's probably
No. But he could have stole some money. He could have done something like
but stealing money, when you're 16, everyone steals money. So if that's what you did,
No. It could have been like he could have stole, like he could have embezzled money from his job, or he could have embezzled money. You know what I mean? Like there are people that take that kind of stuff serious. That is like a huge.
That's something
deal.
that my ex did when he was
Which
not
one?
when we were together. The
Pretty blue eyes or abs.
But he got in trouble for that when he was a teenager, and he was at work, and then he stole money from like the register, say for instance, or like he used someone left their credit card and he used it.
I had a friend of mine. He was assistant manager of a place that we were working at, and he stole a bunch of money.
Yeah, but my ex was 16 when he did that, and he is in his 30s now. He's like one of the kindest, best people on.
This sounds like something that has more to do with the moral rules of that family. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
A lot of family talk.
Like it could be that like his girlfriend had an abortion, and he never told his mother. See, it could be something like that. You know what I mean? It could be something that's like, and if it's something like that, if it's burdening you so much, you got to go and be like, yo,
Yeah.
it could be that he like, you know what I'm saying? It could be a host of things.
Transparency.
Yeah. Just a little. Or find someone you can like. That's just a tough one. That was a tough one.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's no right or wrong answer for that.
I'm trying to think of something that I still feel guilty for. Can you? Something that you're just so like you look back and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, we all have those.
I think we all do actually. I think I probably do. I think that most people do. We were like, holy shit, like what was I thinking?
You guys,
what have I
these two
done?
fucks, I know.
You guys are just
What they
guilt-free.
No, I feel like one big one for me was I just felt like I wasn't there for my sister when she was growing up because I was doing my own shit.
No, I'm
She
talking
confronted
about
me,
deep
like-
dark. That's not deep dark. That's like
Oh,
you
I don't
know.
do dark shit.
Okay, well,
No, she's talking about like calling one of her ex-boyfriends, ex's job, and like she's on drugs,
I think that warrants.
bitch.
Khalyla, you gotta stop.
Some
doing that
evil
stuff.
shit.
That's
That's what I'm saying. Like that's where she's going. Like, but that's just like that's why a woman scorned.
Oh my God! Speaking of which, I had to retell this story. I had a guy who was cheating on his wife. He was a friend of mine. He was cheating on his wife. He went to Reno, fucked a girl, caught chlamydia, but didn't know he caught chlamydia until after he came home and fucked his wife.
Right. That's when you find out.
You know what he did? So he was a trainer at like a 24-hour
Right.
fitness, and he knew that she just had a kid. They had a kid together, and she was very conscious about her weight. So he put antibiotics and weight loss pills, and he said this is something that they've been pushing at the gym. You have to take it every day for a
Well, good
week.
for him. That was his guilt.
And he got away with it.
Yeah. Well, not anymore because if they're listening.
Oh no, she doesn't know to this day. How is this ever going to come out?
What if she just randomly maybe I should watch Khalyla's podcast? And then she's like,
That's me.
he's talking about me. That's why she tells the story, because she secretly wants that to fucking happen. You want that shit to happen. Just admit it.
I'm going to home
Admit
record.
it. Admit you want that to happen.
You know what kind of move that is?
Bitch. Welcome back to Bitch Lasses.
All right. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. Come on.
Yeah, because all your shit is coming up. Because you know what it is? Because she doesn't have her little weirdo shield here that she can just be like, look, Bobby's weird. No, it turns out you're a conniving, evil motherfucker.
I'm spilling everyone's secret.
I know. That's going to happen. Maybe he's watching. Right now he's at work just doing his where does he work? He worked at a gym?
Well, not anymore.
Well, wherever he works now. Now she's like, doesn't want to give me secrets.
Maybe not.
No, he's probably listening to the podcast. He's just at work and he's like, this motherfucker.
What about the guy who jizzed on my kneecap? Do you think he'll hear this?
Yeah, he's going to be happy about that.
Good. I'm glad.
No, he's going to be like, why didn't you tell me you came?
I was so embarrassed for 40 years. I came on your way.
You need to call him and tell him, guess what?
By the way,
I had a tremendous orgasm that time you came on my knee. You probably scarred this poor guy.
He's
Gilbert?
been trying to come on every girl's knees after this.
Yeah. That's his thing. No. That's what he'll do now once she tells him.
Yeah. It worked.
Yeah. I knew
oh
that.
my God.
That was a match. You should have stayed with that guy.
He has children now.
Oh my God. So now she
I don't
just
know how
reveals who it is.
somehow he was able to enter somebody and jizz inside instead of a kneecap.
Well, because you guys were just doing a little freaky deaky shit. That's all that was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, guys, thanks for having me. We'll do it again.
Thank you
Check
so
out-
much, by the way,
whenever.
for stepping in very last minute. I know you've had a long
Erik.
day and you're
Had a
really
long
tired.
Round of applause for Erik.
Thank you.
Remember, check out Riffin with Griffin on iTunes and all the social media platforms. And also, congratulations on the Clippers getting a championship team.
Yes, we'll be talking about that on Scorpion Lashes.
All right, guys.
All right,
See you next week.
I'll be right back with some housekeeping.
Oh, sorry.
No, we'll be back
kidding.
later. No, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay,
You're
okay,
good. Once again, thank you, everyone, to our sponsors, Postmates, Voodoo, ShipStation, and 23andMe. Anything you need, anytime you need it, Postmate it. Download Postmates and save with the code BELLY.
Spells.
Watch free movies instantly. Head over to voodoo.com/TigerBelly to sign up and start watching now. That's VUDU.com/TigerBelly. For 60 days of free ShipStation for all your shipping needs, visit ShipStation.com, click the microphone, and use the code BELLY and make ship happen. Meet your genes. Visit 23andme.com/TigerBelly for your health and ancestry kit. Thanks to everyone who wrote us an iTunes review this week. You helped us get to top 30. If you haven't yet, will you please leave us a review? Guys, you can follow Khalyla on all things.
At Calamity K.
George Kimmel at.
Instagram, George_Kimmel.
Erik Griffin at
Erik Griffin.
and also everything
K.
Bobby Lee
Okay.
with a K at Bobby Lee Live. Everyone, have a good night.
Mola, yeah.